welcome back to the channel. John, welcome back.
Welcome back, Conrad.
Today we are going to ride across Iowa.
Yes.
On our coast-to-coast ride. But we start in Nebraska.
That's right.
Good morning, everybody from Omaha. Well, Papillion, but Omaha area. We are here at Reality Church, who hosted us for the last few days. Thank you, Lance, and all the team at Reality Church for what you did for the great event we had last week. Today, we leave Nebraska, go across the river into Iowa. So Iowa, we're coming for you. Heading to Harlan, Iowa today, and then to Des Moines on Friday. Jody and Carrie will be flying home today, so goodbyes to them. And Joe will be there in Des Moines, so may the wind and the hills ever be in our favor.
Love you.
So June 21st, we take off from Papillion there, and we were on a bike path.
Yeah, we were.
Amazing bike paths in Omaha, so
Yes.
in the Omaha area. So we actually rode on a bike path almost all the way into the city.
Right.
Where then we had to cross the river. And it's the Missouri River that comes through the city of Omaha.
Yep.
And we ended up stopping on the bridge there. They have a pedestrian bridge.
Beautiful.
That goes over the river. So we were able to stop and take some pictures, and we didn't do our happy dance there.
We didn't.
I think because there were too many people on the bridge.
They might have all joined in.
Yeah. We might have, attracted some undue attention.
Yes.
But anyway, we got into Iowa. And we had to come into Council Bluffs. It has that name for a reason, because there are bluffs, and then suddenly there was an uphill. It wasn't bad.
Wasn't terrible.
But overall that day we had planned on riding 63 miles.
Yeah.
And it got really warm.
Yeah. It was
And
hot.
we stopped for lunch in this little town, and we ate at the Garcia's Mexican restaurant.
It was very good.
It was fantastic. And but it was getting really warm, and we were going through water, quite a bit of water.
We were.
And of course our water by that time was piss warm.
Right, exactly.
Pretty much.
With the heat.
With the heat.
But the Yeti coolers were actually not too bad.
Yeah.
They helped keep it cool, but you only got a limited supply.
We were looking for ice, and we came to the little town of Portsmouth.
Yes.
And there in that town, we had to make a right, but we decided, hey, let's riding the town and see if we can find a shop, a cafe, something where we can get some ice. Right. There was nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, there wasn't a store, there wasn't a restaurant, at least that was open.
Right.
There was nothing, there was not even a convenience store.
Right.
The only thing that was there was the Farm Service Co-op. And a big shout out to the Farm Service Co-op, because we just pulled in across the country, we're hot, and we're looking for some water or some ice.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, we have a freezer, I think there's ice in the freezer. And the kind lady gave us a bunch of ice that we can put in our Yeti and in our water bottles.
Right.
And to keep us going. Then I mentioned to her that, hey, we saw that the bridge was out over here.
Yeah, detour signs and stuff.
And she said, probably if you go over there and just ask them, you can probably ride across. Okay.
Yeah.
So what did we do?
We tried.
We tried.
We actually talked to the first construction guys we ran into, and they were like, sure, go right ahead.
Kept on pedaling. Got to the middle of the bridge.
Yes.
Stop! We heard, you're not, and he said, get off my bridge.
Right. Billy Goat's gruff.
Billy Goat's gruff. Troll.
The troll showed up.
Get off my bridge. It was the construction supervisor.
Yeah.
I was like, look, we have 100 feet to go, and we're on the other side, and we'll be out of your way.
The bridge was still intact. I mean, nothing.
The bridge was, you could walk all the way across it.
Right. But there was that state supervisor, whatever that guy was.
There was apparently a state rep there,
Yeah.
and so the construction supervisor was like, you are not crossing my bridge. No way, no how, no chance in hell that you're crossing my bridge.
Even a little growl in there.
It was like, dude, he said, we're hot, we're tired, we only have 10 miles to go, or a few miles to go.
It was a hot day.
To get to Harlan. Said we're staying at the firehouse in Harlan.
Yep.
We're, here's the name of the fire chief or the assistant chief, If you don't get off my bridge, I will call the police.
Yes.
I said, dude, we're riding for first responders. We're on a coast-to-coast ride. And I admit, I begged. Yes. I didn't grovel, but I begged.
Yes, he begged.
And he was like, no, get off my bridge. You're not supposed to be here. So the only way around,
The shortest way around.
the shortest way around the
Other than
bridge
the bridge.
was how many miles?
Over 12.
About 12 and a half?
Yeah.
12 and a half miles around.
Additional. Yes.
Additional. So, without, our tails between our legs, we backed off.
Yep, and whimpering.
And grumbling and complaining.
Yes.
We went around and we hit some big hills.
Yeah, we hit some big hills.
Monster hills. We probably would have had a few hills anyway, but this was an additional 12 and a half miles, more than what we had expected.
Right.
And so it ended up putting our total mileage up to 75.5 miles that day.
And it was one of the hottest days we had.
Very hot day. And I remember we pulled into the firehouse there, and John just laid out.
Passed out on the ground. And I think let me get the video out for that.
Yeah. But then the assistant fire chief met us there, Bruce Blum, and he allowed us made arrangements beforehand to sleep at the firehouse. And so he showed us the firehouse, and then he and his family came and took us around town.
And took us out to dinner.
And it was the town of Harlan. Right?
Harlan, right.
Harlan, Iowa. And took us out to dinner. So a big shout out to Bruce and his family. Thank you for providing that for us and a place to sleep. It was amazing.
Very good hospitality.
Good morning, everybody. It's a bright sunny day here in Harlan, Iowa. Yes, we crossed the line yesterday into Iowa. Today, we only have 45 miles as long as there's no bridges out. So we're riding to
Guthrie Center.
Guthrie Center, Iowa. Not a whole lot to talk about this day on June 22nd. A normal ride, ups and downs, Iowa. It's Iowa.
True.
Cornfields.
It's supposed to be flat, right?
Supposed to be flat. No, it's not flat.
No, it's flat.
We got to Guthrie Center. We ate lunch there at the Subway.
Oh, right.
Right in town. And we had to kind of ride through town up a giant hill. Massive hill.
That's right, to the
on the
hotel.
other end of town. Far into town, we stopped at the Midway Motel, tiny little motel that I guess the year before had gotten hit by a tornado.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And they were in renovations, and the really sweet lady there, she was like, I'm gonna put you in this one room. I said, well, if you could put us in the biggest room you have, because the rooms weren't very big.
No, they weren't.
And she said, well, you can keep your bikes here. I said, no, we like to keep our bikes with us.
Yes.
We always took our bicycles with us into the hotel rooms because that's where they were safest, and we could keep our eye on them and they didn't wander off.
Exactly.
Good morning from Guthrie Center. We are up bright and early today, trying to beat the heat. We're on the way to Des Moines. We had a wonderful night last night. What was the place we ate at?
Something Grill downtown.
Yeah, Prime Grill downtown. Comped our meal. Thank you for your generosity, and we love being here. Had this nice fine little motel that we stayed at. Got a decent night's sleep. Now we're off to Des Moines. Des Moines, we're coming for you. Tonight is our big event at Reach Church in Des Moines. We are going to stay at fire station number 9, and we will be coming over to the church tonight for our big event. $45.6 miles to Des Moines.
Long ride.
But was this the straight one?
Yeah.
Just a straight shot. Guthrie Center to Des Moines. So we had a big screening event planned for the PTSD911 documentary there in Des Moines that night on June 23rd, and the Des Moines Fire Company was hosting the screening, and it's at a big church, and so they were also hosting us to stay. We stayed at the firehouse, a working firehouse.
Yep.
You know, thanks to the captain and lieutenant for giving us their rooms.
It's really nice.
And I think we had one call that night at 5 in the morning.
Yes.
The tones went off.
Yep.
And it's like, whoa, that's what it feels like to be a firefighter.
Exactly.
But super nice evening there in Des Moines.
Biggest event, I think.
Biggest event of the whole trip. 200 and some people showed up.
We are in Des Moines, Iowa at fire station number 9. These guys were our hosts last night. Today we ride to Grinnell.
Yep.
About 50 some miles, 60 maybe.
Yeah, miles 50.
But we got to hurry because there's a storm coming, so we got to ride fast. So we're off.
About 22 miles in, we hit a detour.
That's right.
And
That's right.
what would that lady say?
She said, yeah, just take that dirt road where the torrent is. Just take that dirt road. That's where Ragbri is going to go.
That's where Ragbri is going to go. And I remember last summer, Doozer said something about the gravel road.
Oh, okay.
So that's, Ragbri. We were on the Ragbri route.
That's
so
right.
Big shout out to Ragbri. Shout out to Doozer, Priority Bicycles. And their actually Priority sponsored us and our bikes.
That's right.
So
That's right.
amazing bikes that we had, the Priority 600. Well, anyway, that detour took us on a dirt road.
Yeah.
Couple miles,
not too far.
And got into another town and kind of wound through the country, but we kept our eyes on the weather.
Yeah.
There were some storms heading our way, kind of to our south and southwest. And the closer we got to Grinnell, the more the weather looked really ominous.
We covered all our stuff up and got our rain jackets on.
Even though it was only a 55-mile day, I think we had a headwind.
Yeah, I think
kind of a cross headwind, and it was really tough. At one point, we came around this. You tell the story, John.
we were making a lot of progress. Just anxious to get to town. And we had a couple hills. We had hills. Of course, Iowa's hilly. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So we're doing all these hills and stuff. And we're in this nice flat section for quite a ways. And we're thinking it's going to be smooth sailing all the way into town. We come around this bend, and there's this hill right there. And Conrad goes, "Oh no!"
I think my head just dropped. Like
it just dropped. And we may have said a few choice words like "oh darn," but a little stronger.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it wasn't a massive hill. We've been on bigger hills, but
it was just like
But it was just a headwind, storm coming. We're tired. We're just wanting to get to the hotel, and so we pedaled our way up this hill. But once we got to the top, then we really hit the crosswind and the headwind.
It was fighting us the whole way in.
It was really hard, and there was storm clouds coming, and but then we stopped. We had made reservations at the Hotel Grinnell.
Very cool place.
And apparently Grinnell is a city on the stop for Ragbri often.
I can understand why.
There's a lot of restaurants. There's all kinds of food. There's this amazing hotel. The hotel, I mean, how do you describe this place?
It was almost like warehouse type. The hardwood floors, a lot of exposed pipes and stuff. It's just really a cool setup.
Cool space. Yeah, they had a little bar restaurant off to the side.
Periodic table.
Yes,
That's right. I'm not going to forget that.
I know. Right?
Good morning from Grinnell, Iowa. We are making our way across the state. And last night we stayed here at the Hotel Grinnell. Great place to stay. If you're ever in Grinnell, Iowa, this is the place to stay. Great food, great amenities,
Really enjoyed our stay here. And today we go to Iowa City. So 70 miles maybe? 65, 70 miles. So we're supposed to have the wind at our back. So yesterday we had the wind in our face and on our side, and it was a really difficult ride, but today hopefully it'll push us all the way to Iowa City. This was a fun day.
Yeah.
Grinnell to Iowa City, 65 miles. You know what our average speed was that day? Wasn't quite our record, but it was 15.8.
Woo. That's
We had a tailwind.
moving. Well, yeah, it helps.
We had a tailwind.
I feel like I'm barely touching my pedals.
When the wind just pushes you,
Yep.
and you can go almost 16 miles an hour with a fully loaded bicycle,
Oh, yeah.
doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't.
We get into Iowa City, and we have reservations at the Graduate Hotel. I love the Graduate Hotels.
A lot
They're
of fun.
fantastic.
They're pretty cool.
Great hotels. And then my buddy John Van Allen, who is an amazing filmmaker and a gaffer. Well, when you watch the news this election season in Iowa, and you're watching CNN or you're watching Fox News, you know, when they're setting up for the things in Iowa, John's doing all the lighting for that.
Oh, cool.
He's the guy. He's the bomb when it comes to lighting.
He's a great guy, too.
Great guy.
He
Paid
did.
for dinner.
He was great.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
You're a keeper. So that was Iowa City. Good morning from Iowa City. It is windy, and good news is the wind's blowing in the right direction, we think. We had 60 miles to Davenport,
Davenport. Quad Cities.
all the way to the Mississippi River. And pretty uneventful day. It was quite an accomplishment that day because we made it to the Mississippi River.
It was. It was.
I mean, coming off the Rockies, you know, everything kind of slopes toward that place. So getting to the Mississippi River was a big milestone for us. And the next day was going to be challenging for a couple of reasons. And we'll talk about that next time, but it had to do with northern Canada. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah, let's leave it there.
Yeah. So a little teaser. Make sure you come back and watch the next episode. We have 2 more episodes in this series. We have the next episode is Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and then our final episode is Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. So that's our trip across the country. That was our trip across Iowa for this episode. Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming back and checking it out. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and to hit the like. And then if you really like it, share it with your family and friends. And get out there and ride. It's good for you.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Excellent. Thanks, man.
No problem.